been a pattern for the last 2 years or so. Once these girls have, they say my fiance, it's a wrap on anything that you do does is stupid, any kind of abuse.
What's up, people? Excuse my kind of husky voice. It's been allergy season around here because it first was raining, right? It was raining like crazy, and then it's warm, right? So the weeds just go. And so your friend over here just been like having a hard time. So my voice is reflecting it from all the coughing and sneezing I've been doing. But I am here. I had to actually, this is the first time in probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that maybe longer than that, that I had to do the column myself, and I just did not even know what to do. So if it sounds stupid and the questions don't have any kind of flow, my apologies because it's not what I usually do. This is Candace, but she was out with her old ass playing in the snow and slipped on some ice and fell. Is all bruised up and purple and green out here. So she said she just couldn't sit, at the computer and do that. I said, that's fine. I got it. I got it. Now, you know what? I went to this workshop this week. Now, this don't have nothing to do with the show, but I just want to share about weight bias in public health. And it was really interesting. I do this kind of stuff, if something interests me, I will go and listen to the lecture. I will register for the webinar. I'll do all that stuff just because I want to know what they're talking about. Don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing, but I still want to know about it because it might come in handy as far as answering one of these questions. You just never know. So this was talking about how people are so indoctrinated into worrying about their weight instead of focusing on their health, longevity, muscle strength, like muscle wasting, bone loss, skin, how the skin and hair looks and stuff like that, their nutrition. They don't think about that. They just focus on how much they weigh. And I shared in the workshop how when I was working as a trainer, we would do, people come in, you weigh them and you measure them. So they have like a baseline of where they started and do a body fat test. Now that's where it got interesting because normally, women think, well, if someone's slim, that means that they're healthy and they're in good shape. And, that woman is like at the peak of the pyramid or something. So we had all these little young girls coming in there, like college students or something. And they would do, they weigh, so their weight is on the chart, and then they would do, I would do the body fat test. Now, even though they were skinny girls, according to the body fat test, they were obese. And I'll tell you how that works because your organs, bones, you know, skin, venous system, all of that has a certain amount of weight. So all that when you jump on the scale, all of that is getting weighed in addition to how much fat you have. So just because you are low weight does not mean that you're a healthy range as far as body fat and other things go. So they would be skinny fat, skinny but fat because when you touch them, there was no muscle tone. They weren't even, I can't even say they were like a marshmallow, more like mashed potatoes. Your finger just goes in and in. And I would just be looking at them like, but they didn't care about that. All they cared about is that from dieting and half starving themselves, that they would be skinny. So this lady who was leading the thing was talking about how people will look at somebody and make a determination about that person's worth, that person's health, that person's morality, and all kinds of stuff just based on their weight. And I was like, wow. I mean, I think this is a much larger problem in the white community than is the black community because statistically, black women, even when they're overweight, have the highest self-esteem of any other ethnicity. So it just we don't we don't do this to ourselves. You know, we we might want to lose some weight, but we're not going to kill ourselves over it or beat ourselves up about it. Whereas in other cultures, being skinny, it seems like if you're not skinny, then you're undesirable, you're human waste, you're like worse than dog food and stuff like that. So it was just really interesting. So that's what I do. You know, I try to keep my mind occupied and active, learning new things. I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And there's a part two coming up, I think on the 29th or something, so I'm gonna be there for that as well. Thank you, Ash. So we only have 21 questions today, but look how thick this is. You know what I did? I just went through and I highlighted and I paste them into the document, and then that's it. So I didn't really pay that much attention to what they say, but I guess we're about to find out because I didn't want to be too familiar with it. But also, I don't, like I said, I don't really know how she, you know, how she moves them around and picks which ones and stuff like that. So I just picked some and they here and we just gonna want to roll with it. So here we go for Friday, January 16th. Can you believe it's already the 16th of the month? 21 questions. Here's question number one. This is a female, 20 to 34, from Leeds, England. My boyfriend keeps saying that I'm not, quote, officially family, and it hurts. I feel quite bad, very upset, and very moody. I have been with my boyfriend for almost 5 years, and we're looking for a house together. We made plans for our life together, including marriage and children in the future. I already consider myself part of a we in some way, but although he shows me affection and cares about me slash us, I feel that he is not quite there yet. My guess is that it may be because we don't live together, but as I am 32 and he is 33, this makes me feel very sad. My boyfriend's sister and her partner are expecting a baby girl within the next few months. I already feel a bit like an aunt, even though there's no blood or legal connection, and even though I'm not very close to them. They are a few years older than us, and we don't see them often. This topic has come up several times, and my boyfriend has been keen to point out that I'm not becoming an aunt, or at least not officially. He didn't say it in a nasty way, he just said it. There are a few episodes in particular that I want to ask you about. Number one, we gave the parents to be a gift for the baby shower, and he just decided to write from Uncle his name and my name on the card. He told me that he thought it was the nicest and most appropriate way to write who was from, and since it was only a card, I decided to let it go. When talking with friends about this topic, he always mentioned how he would become an uncle and how he would be the cool uncle and so on. Once a friend of mine asked me something like, how do you feel about becoming an aunt? And I hesitated a little before answering and mumbled, actually, I'm not becoming an aunt. And she said, of course you are. And I said, actually, no, I'm not. And my boyfriend emphasized this by saying, actually, she's not officially becoming an aunt. I don't know why I insisted on saying no, but maybe it was to hear what he would say. And one last time I tried to talk to him about how sorry I was to not be becoming an aunt, and he replied, but you are becoming one, not officially, but you are. This clarification of officially makes me feel quite bad, and it makes me feel alone. It gives me the impression that he has everything and I have nothing, and I am nothing. How can I tell my boyfriend how I feel and how this situation makes me feel? What would be the best and most genuine way to do so without giving rise to misunderstandings? The only one who's going to have a misunderstanding here is you, because he's right. And your friend that said you're going to be honest wrong. You are not married. I'm sorry, you girls, you get these boyfriends, even if it's a fiance, you want to treat him like it's a husband. I can't even tell you how many letters we get here, um, that the girls refer to the boyfriend's mother as their mother-in-law. No, heifer, he's not your mother-in-law. You're not married to him. That's your boyfriend's mama. That's it. That's all he is. The reason, I hesitate to, I mean, I have to emphasize this because young girls need to pay more attention to the fact that that's not your man, it's not your husband. So you don't treat him like he's your husband. He should not be treating you like you're his wife either. So, there has to be a next level for you to achieve once you become husband and wife. If you do everything as husband and wife, like you would as a husband and wife, and you just backing up boyfriend or girlfriend or something, then what are you doing? And to expect his family and everybody else to see you as the aunt, no, that's a title that's reserved for his wife. You're not his wife. So I don't know what else to tell you. You need to like get real clear on that. Until you walk down that aisle and get married, and you had an official license from wherever you are. Where did you say y'all are? Oh, Leeds, England. Until you get the marriage license, that's a legal government document and do the little wedding thing if that's what you're gonna do. You're not nobody's wife and you ain't nobody's aunt. Okay? His parents are not your in-laws. His sister's not your sister-in-law. You ain't nobody's auntie unless you got some on your side. But get real clear on that. Whether he says officially or not, and you get your feelings about it is irrelevant. It's a fact. It's a legal and moral fact. You are not his wife. You are not nobody's auntie. You are not nobody's sister-in-law. Those his parents are not your mother-in-law. You just a girlfriend shacking up. Okay? So get real clear on where your position, because you doing the most here, doing too much. You can tell him how you feel, but it's not going to change nothing. Like I said, the one who needs to accept reality here is you. He's very clear on what your role is in his life. Until he proposes you become his wife, then all this other stuff you talking about is just noise. Question number 2. I think I said we got 21 questions. This young lady's 22 to 27 from Coventry, England. Summary of issue. My boyfriend used AI to respond. Wait a minute. No, he did. Actually, I didn't even pay attention to what I was copying. My boyfriend used AI to respond when I told him that something was upsetting me. My boyfriend and I were having a conversation slash argument over text as he'd been away so much over these past 7 months. After calculating it, he's been away over 90 days altogether since June. This has been an ongoing issue. And yesterday, while I was on my lunch break, he told me that he's going back to his home country for a month, leaving the next day. I tried not to be annoyed about it as his parents want him to go and are paying for it, but today reality has set in and I'm just irritated. I sent him a text showing how much he's been away, and he brushed it off initially after I pushed back and reiterated that it's not nice to be left alone all the time. Then he started getting defensive. This led me to send a long paragraph, really just trying to explain how I feel and how his reaction has made me feel. His response was AI generated. Woo! It immediately seemed like AI, and I put it in the AI detector, which immediately recognized it as definitely AI. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I told him that to never send me an AI generated message again, and how disrespectful it is not to even be bothered to come up with a response of his own. He's defending himself, saying he didn't know what to say, and he wanted to say the right thing. I think he's just making excuses. Deb, how would you feel receiving an AI generated message in the argument? First of all, Deborah would not waste time arguing with anybody by text. That is stupid. Okay, you guys are got on the phone. Why don't you just call each other and have like a voice conversation, or FaceTime or whatever? What is this? By text, everything by text. Part. The second part of that is if he's been gone all that time, in the 6 to 7 month period, then what do you get out of this? Normally young people get in relationships for the companionship, the nook, somebody to have fun with and talk to and bond with and all that good old stuff. You ain't getting none of that. And when he could respond to you, he sent you an AI generated. Oh my God, that dude, he is just too much for me. Hey Mo, that's just too much. I don't even know what to say. But the thing is, what you have to decide is if you want this kind of relationship and this kind of boyfriend or not. Because he had done told you, this is the way it is. Either you take it or leave it. Now he didn't use those exact words, but that's what he's basically saying. And by not even giving a shit enough to write a real response, he sent you one from AI. That man don't give a fuck about you. The sooner you realize that and accept it and move on, the better you will be. Okay. Because if he really cared how you felt and stuff, he would have called you to talk about it. Y'all want to sit there and text each other to death. It's so stupid. I don't know what you young people be doing with all this texting. It's just retarded. Question number 3. This is a male 22 to 27 from Louisville, Kentucky, female 35 to 42. Summary of issue. My girlfriend let herself into my apartment using my hidden key because I wasn't answering the phone. My girlfriend of 6 months is 35 and I'm 27. Okay, 30. Wow, that's a little big age gap. I'm writing to ask about something my girlfriend did recently. She let herself into my apartment because I fell asleep and wasn't answering my phone. She doesn't have a key. I've never given her one, not because I'm hiding anything. I just don't want to. I also have a roommate, so it's not purely my call. She stays over a lot, but that doesn't mean she has open access to the place. She has her own apartment. My security is supposed to call beforehand, which they did. Because I didn't answer, they just let her come up. She knew where my hidden key was because she'd seen me use it before. So when I didn't pick up, she came over and let herself in. When I confronted her about it, she acted like it was normal, like being worried just tried justified it. But I feel violated. This isn't the first boundary issue we've had either. She's been pushing for us to share locations, which I've said no to. She previously asked for a key in case she, quote, can't reach me, but honestly, I don't want to do that. This led to an argument and her saying that even her friends think it's weird that she doesn't have a key here. Okay, so now she's pulling in her flying monkeys. I couldn't care less. I don't want anybody to have unrestricted access to my personal space. She leaves stuff at my place constantly, which I don't mind. However, when I want some time alone time and message her after work, she says, "Oh, but my things are here." We see each other basically every day, but I also like to take some time to myself. To me, if you can't reach someone, you just wait. You don't decide you're entitled to enter their home without their permission. I'd never do that to her or anyone else. Is this just how relationships work? And am I being weird about it? Maybe I'm an avoidant. No, this is not you. This her. She's a control freak, and she it's just yeah, just extremely controlling. And that happens a lot when you are the younger partner, and the other partners, the older one. They have this thing like this parental kind of thing sometimes where they want to just tell you what to do, how to do it, and all this kind of stuff. So what you need to do is first of all, let's rewind. You got this hidden key, but once she saw you use it, it wasn't hidden no more. Okay. Now you fucked up that on for real right there. The only thing you could do is go and talk to your building management and say, if I don't answer the phone, that might mean that I'm not at home. Don't let anybody upstairs. I don't care if it's my mother. They don't go upstairs. And you need to put that in writing so that they know if they violate it, it's going to be a problem. Because you don't want some woman coming up in your house and just going into your place so she can snoop around. The second thing is what you need to do is definitely check her on this shit because you sound like you got a good spine because you see I don't want to do that stuff. But I'm concerned about how you communicated that. I want you to put your nigga on, and I wanted you to say, look, bitch, you don't ever come to fuck up in my house if unless I invite you. You don't go taking a key and walking up in my house like that. You don't know what my roommate is doing up here or whatever. You just gonna come busting the house that's not even a fucking yours. Don't you ever do that shit again. If the second you try something like that, we're done. I mean, that second. Don't even think about it. The second thing is don't be leaving your shit at my house anymore. When you leave, you take your shit with you, all of it. Now, I didn't really care before, but seeing how you trying to like take control of stuff and run me, I want you to take your shit with you when you go. Anything that you don't take with you is going in the garbage can. I want you to know that right now. So don't be trying to come up and talk about, oh, I left my stuff here, because bitch, this shit will be in the dumpster. You can go get it out there. And what else did I want to say? Yeah, trying to talk about what her friends think that it's weird that she doesn't have a key here. Say, bitch, we ain't married and you ain't engaged. So there's no reason for you to have a key to my house. We haven't made that level of commitment to each other. You need to keep some shit straight. You mixing apples and kumquats up here. And so, we only been together a couple of months. And, you keep this kind of shit up, it's going to end tomorrow. Because I'm not taking this from you or anybody else till I make myself clear. You need to talk to her like that. And the second she gets out of pocket, because she's not going to be able to hold water, she's going to, she's going to mess up again. And then you say, get your shit and get the fuck out. And then when second she's out the door, you block her and then you be done with it. But make sure you go downstairs and give them that notice in writing. Say, you guys caused me a huge problem. I don't care, give a fuck who it is. Like I said, it could be Jesus Christ himself. Nobody comes upstairs unless I answer the phone and tell you to let them upstairs. That means I'm either busy, I'm asleep, or I don't want any company. That's why I didn't answer the phone when you called. So you don't just try to force somebody on me like that. Your job is to protect the tenants, not to subject us to weird fucking control freaks that just want to come up all in our house. So don't you ever do that again, or we're gonna have a problem. I end up suing you or some shit. So you put it like that there, especially when you put it in writing and you explain the situation and the problem it caused you and how they didn't follow protocol. Because even if they were concerned about you, needing what they call a wellness check, they're supposed to call the police to do that. They don't have some broad that's wandering off the street talking about, well, I'm your girlfriend. What if she wasn't? What if she was a stalker and she was out to kill you and she just let herself in your house? See, you have to say stuff like that to them so they understand the liabilities and the risks that they're putting their corporation or their little business in or whatever it is by breaking the rules, especially if it's in written form that that's the policy. And then you violate it and something happens to a tenant, child, you would be owning that building and have everything that they ever thought they was going to have for the next 20 years. So they need to get it together. That's it. People move into those kind of security buildings for security, not to have to wake up and see somebody standing over their bed that could be standing over them with a knife. So you just remind them of how that could have gone, because they didn't know who that bitch was or what y'all status was. Because even if you had been dating her before that, then you still dating her now. You see where I'm going with this? So they was 150% wrong, and then she was the other 150% wrong. But you just being stupid by not getting stuff in order. You don't never let no bitch leave some shit at your house. When men have left stuff in my house, guess what I did? I threw it in the garbage can. And they'd be like, "Oh, I think I left my so and so." "Oh, really? I didn't see it." "Oh, you must have left it somewhere else," says Deborah. "You know why I do that? Because I don't want you to have no excuse why you're gonna be trying to tip over to my house. Unannounced, uninvited. See who I got up in here, what I'm doing. I know them tricks. I invented them. Fuck out of here with that." So yeah, that's what I do. And I don't throw it in my garbage can. I throw it away when at a job or at the Safeway or, the big bins they have there, or at the UPS garbage dumpster thingy, somewhere at Bevmo garbage dumpster. I'm gonna put it somewhere where you're gonna never find it, and it's not gonna be associated with me. I toss it that day because I just take your shit with you when you go. You don't live here, okay? I didn't invite you to leave nothing here. I didn't give you a drawer or nothing. So you trying to leave some shit in my house to be slick? Oh no. Like I said, don't try to play them games with me. I invented that shit. That's the slick tricks. We're not doing that. So no, anything I walk around my house after they leave, anything I see that ain't mine, psh, into the hefty bags it goes. I just can't do it. Let's move on. Question number 4. This is a female, 57 to 65, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary issue: I have lost a lot of weight, and my daughters and granddaughters seem to be angry towards me because of it. Besides gaining weight back, how can I fix the relationship? Nope, I don't want to get my neighbors. You don't be getting your neighbors involved because then they nosy. They want to know, well, what's going on and what happened and why did you? And then you never know what what kind of food he might be. He gonna cost a neighbor like it was a lady live by herself and she's young and cute. Then if he's stupid. He gonna be trying to get at her and stuff and just causing. I no, I don't want nobody involved. She's going to the dumpster straight and forthwith, hence and right away. And so there's no is I've never deviated from that, and I don't know what happened to it. I ain't seen it. Are you sure you left it here? Oh, I don't think you left it here. That kind of stuff. I'm not taking no responsibility for some shit you got a slick trick you tried to pull. Fuck out of here. So let's see what she's talking about. So she's besides gaining the weight back, how can I fix the relationship? I'm 62 and I have two daughters that are 38 and 44, and a granddaughter who's 22. I thought we had a pretty good relationship, but now I don't know. Is it me or did I raise mean girls? I worked really hard the past 2 years and have lost over 110 pounds. I watched what I ate and high protein, low carbs, no sugar, low calorie, a few treats here and there, and lots of walking, words out. And I started playing pickleball last summer. I've been heavy all my life, and 2 years ago, I weighed 305. Now I'm the smallest I've been since my 20s. My oldest daughter and my granddaughter hadn't seen me in person since the summer, and at Christmas, they were shocked. I lost 40 pounds since July when I added pickleball to my exercise routine. Deb, I overheard the girls talking and it was very hurtful. What they said, I wasn't deliberately listening. I was in the bathroom and they were in the hallway. The comments they made me tear up. They did that shit on purpose, saying I look like a deflated balloon. As soon I won't want to be seen with them. I've never even given unsolicited diet advice. I don't make comments about their weight. They are my babies. I wouldn't say hurtful things to them. I did say I had a bag of clothes, work stuff, visual casual, I wore on my way down if they wanted to look before I donated it. I'm just a couple of sizes smaller than two of them and about the size of the third. I have 40 pounds to my goal weight. I didn't push it, just said the stuff is in their father's, my late husband's closet. My granddaughter said she didn't want to wear grandma clothes. Fair enough. I wouldn't want to wear the leggings and crop tops of a 20 something either. But the way they all looked at each other and snickered is what got me. My granddaughter is 22 and said I look more wrinkly now that I've lost weight. And during dinner, when I only took smaller portions, no sweets, my oldest, who I hadn't seen in a few months, said in kind of a snarky way, "Isn't our food good enough for you anymore? Too much fat?" I responded, "I have to be careful to keep losing and keep the weight off." The comments kept coming from all three of them. Like, who wants pie? I'm sure you don't want any. You aren't greedy like us. I did have a ooh. I did have a sliver of the pumpkin pie my granddaughter made because it's my favorite. And then after dishes, my daughter laughed and said, "Are you going to go walk off the 200 calories you ate at dinner or hang around us for a while?" My granddaughter laughed and said, "I doubt it was 200, it's more like 60. For your information, I had a small slice of ham and a bit of prime rib, a serving of sauteed green beans, not green bean casserole. Yeah, that shit is nasty. And they seemed irritated that I didn't eat it. Half a baked potato and a small Hawaiian roll. I didn't turn anything down. I just didn't choose it from the buffet. I didn't think I would be judged. When everyone left, I had a good cry. I felt like I'd been bullied by a group of mean girls. I had read that people who lose weight aren't treated the same by friends and coworkers, and I know I'm treated different at this weight than when I was at 300 by service people in the doctor's office. But I'd expect it from my own girls, my own family. How can I fix this? Do I address it as a group, individually, or ignore and hope it stops? Well, no, you wait until they start doing it again, and then you say, okay, you guys did that before Christmas. Yeah, they jealous. What is the point of this? What are you trying to do? Are you jealous because I lost weight and you still big and fat? That's what it sounds like to me. Now, see, because like I'm a mom, but when people start doing stuff, and I don't care who you are, if it was my mother, I would do the same thing. You gonna start trying to throw shade and fly lugs at me, I'ma lob some shit back at you. So you better be ready. When you open your mouth and start talking shit to me, be prepared for it to come back double. And so I would have just, created them. You sitting up there looking just as big as a walrus, and you still want to talk about something? You want to talk about me eating my little 200 calories? Fuck you, all of you. And then it would go downhill from there. But that, I mean, because I feel like if you gonna treat me like I'm a bitch on the street, all bets are off. Don't expect the kid gloves treatment from me because you want to go hood, let's go. So, you as a mother, I can see you that sensitive type where you would go and cry and all of those shit. I would never cry. I would make them cry. I would make them cry. So, I can see though that you don't want to do that because of your babies and your grandbaby and all this old shit here. But they're not showing you any kind of respect like your grandmother or their mother. So I'm wondering why you adhering to that policy. You treat people the way that they treat you. You match energy. That's one of the prime rules on this channel. And somebody starts showing you some foul, funky energy, you give it right back. Because I mean that's what they started out with. So that must be what we're doing. Right? That's what we're doing today. So let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. And they jealous. Because that's the time like when they going for the pie, say, well, I'm not gonna have no pie. You don't need to be having none either with your big hippo ass. You're just gonna be sitting up there chugging down more food, getting wider and wider. Stuff like that. Just little nasty gram comments. And then so somebody's feelings gonna be hurt. Mine might have been hurt too, but I don't. My feelings don't really get hurt. But I would definitely make sure theirs were. But the fact that they were doing all this deflecting and stuff, that shows that they're sensitive. So that's how you know that it was you to pick on them about their weight and call them things like hippo, rhino, stuff like that. Then big backside of a barn, your butt look like a cow, all stuff like that. Then their feelings would be hurt. Then you could be feeling good about it. you know. I don't even like people say, well, you need to apologize. Don't waste your time. Because if they didn't want to hurt you, they wouldn't have said it. So I never ask people I never demand anybody apologize. And I don't apologize either because I know I didn't mean it. Just like I know they didn't mean it. Because it's the kind of thing like, if you as a mature adult cannot control your mouth to the point that you don't do and then what before you start speaking and you blast out with some shit and then you want to hurt everybody and they say, oh, I'm sorry, bitch, you lying. You ain't sorry. You just don't want to deal with the repercussions of what you did. You're sorry about that, but you're not sorry about what you said. Don't even try it. You know what I mean? So I used to get those parents who say, you need to make your daughter apologize. I don't need to do a fucking thing. Because she did it. That's what she wanted to do. And so there's no need for her to apologize for it. I mean, it was, plus, what did your kid do to push you to that? Because my daughter was the quiet. I mean, she played by herself in a corner and stuff with like a bunch of other kids around. She wasn't the kind to, start no shit. I mean, she just that quiet kid. She was not like me. We're like complete opposites. And so, I know if somebody did something and she struck out, it was always she was defending herself or defending her toy or something like that. And so I never made her apologize because I already knew. Once you know your child's temperament, you know what they'll do and what they won't do. And somebody been that same way for 6 or 7 years, she don't never start no. I mean, that's just not even to this day. That's not her. So I don't know. Yeah, the damage is done. It's just like when you go to court and they be talking about, the jury shall disregard that statement. Pfft, good luck with that. It's already heard. They done, and once you say don't disregard it, that goes right into their memory banks. And now you done flagged it as something that that's an important issue. So you said the jury shall disregard it. That's guaranteed that they're not going to disregard it. I don't even know why they waste time saying that kind of stuff. So anyway, lady, that's what you do. Wait till the next time they start that shit and you light their asses up. Question number 5. This is a female, 35 to 41, from Olaf. I think that's Olaf. I don't know how you pronounce that. Kansas. Sorry, issue. My boyfriend's alcoholism makes him unattractive. You think? I'm 39 and my boyfriend is 40. We've been together for almost 3 years and we lived together for the last 16 months. When we first started dating, I knew he drank booze, but I didn't realize how much. He has a med card, so he smokes weed a lot because of back pain. He has had back surgery and still has a lot of pain and numbness from it. Now that we live together, his drinking has been a source of arguments and issues. I rarely drink. I have a seltzer or two a week, but even that is rare. But my boyfriend has gotten to the point where he consumes beer constantly. But we also go through almost a full bottle of whiskey and a bottle of vodka every 1 to 1.5 weeks. Wow. Plus the beer. Wow. Our relationship struggles with intimacy and has since the beginning. And yet you stayed with him and yet you moved in with him. He worked on trying to get help for it, but I had been turned down so much when initiating, I stopped initiating. Then I had surgery, a hysterectomy, and my hormones tanked. I've gotten on medication for it, even though I feel like I could. I just don't want to. I don't want to be intimate when he's always drunk. It's a huge mental block for me. My boyfriend is a great guy beyond the alcohol and a great father. He's kind and supportive, incredibly intelligent, and has a good job. He just doesn't want to help himself. The drinking has been a source of fights in the past, and he was toning it down for a while, but then it ramps back up. I'm worried that one day it's going to bite him in the ass. He has 2 teenagers, and I can't imagine my life without them or without him. But I'm to the point of giving him an ultimatum: choose sobriety and keep our relationship, or continue with this path, and I leave. I'm not sure what else to do. Any advice? Yes, you were stupid. Let me tell you how you were stupid. Okay. When you meet somebody and they present as, in this case, a drunkard, you knew he was a drunkard. You got into a relationship knowing that he drinks a lot. You saw that he wasn't really trying to hide it. And yet you stayed in the relationship and then even moved in with him, knowing that you did not want a drunkard for a partner. So then we have to look at you. Why did you choose this path for yourself? Right? This was what you chose. So writing about it in the back end and complain is kind of stupid. This is what you bought into. Yeah, I mean, plus it's like, they need help to do it. A lot of these men, as quiet as it's kept, They're drinking a lot because of childhood SA. They don't want to talk about it, so they drown themselves in a bottle. I didn't realize how common it was for boys to be assaulted until I got a little older and started, studying it and stuff. People always thought, boys were safe, that nobody would do that to them. It's not true. So, you have these grown men with all these unresolved issues and pain and trauma trying to have relationships, and they can't do it. They can't even have a relationship with themselves because they're so fucked up in their head. So I'm betting it's something like that with your dude, in which case, unless he gets professional help, he's never going to get to past this. You're just going to be wasting years and years of your life on him. So you don't threaten him. You just say, look, I'm going to move out. And if you stay sober for a year, and I'm still single, find me. If not, it was nice knowing you. And then you just move on. I don't see what the problem is. Question number 6. This is a young man, 22 to 27, from Denver, Colorado. Summary of issue. I'm considering breaking up with my girlfriend because she dated a hardcore racist for 4 years. Wow. Good evening, ladies. I've been dating a great girl for the past 7 months. So far, we're both 27. We have had a great relationship. We match on a lot of key desires and life goals. After a long time being single, I was excited to finally be in a relationship with someone I could see myself being married to. A key point is that I am black and she is white. So far, it hasn't been a sort of big deal. In fact, it's never come up once between us. Another key point is that I absolutely 100% do not mess around with racists at all. I grew up as the only black kid in a very racist town. It was tough. Because of that, I do not interact well. I do not interact with anyone who is even vaguely racist. I know she had some trauma in her past relationship. She didn't get into it much, just said that he was a bad guy who messed with her a lot. I made sure to do a lot of research and talk with my therapist about how to help her feel comfortable in a healthy relationship because I know they can be tough. Fast forward to last week, we were talking about our past relationships, and she ended up telling me his name, first name. Of course, curiosity got the best of me, and I ended up hunting him down on social media. She is from a very small rural town, so it was easy. Literally, his entire page was filled with racist stuff. He's covered in swastikas and other racist tattoos in all of his pictures, posting with hate punk bands and just absolutely insane stuff about pretty much every race. What hurt the most was seeing my girlfriend in those pictures, especially at the hate punk concerts. I pretty much immediately told her I looked him up and saw his page. She started crying and saying that she was in a bad place mentally when she dated him, that at the time she didn't realize how terrible he was until it was too late. She said that she wasn't racist or held any of those beliefs, but she did use slurs a lot to fit in with him and his friends. She explained that she lost all of her family and friends by dating him and that he essentially destroyed her life. I told her that she needed to leave and that I really needed time to think about our relationship. Since then, she has been texting me about how sorry she is and how much she has changed since dating him, but I really have a hard time believing anyone who could even speak to someone like that, let alone dating him. Mentally, I gave myself until tomorrow to make a decision. I really want to stick to my principles, but sadly, I'm having a rough time because I really do like her. Hey, Shay. Yeah, this is a whoa. What would you do in my situation, Deb? She is a great girl, but I think it would take a lot for me to get over the people she associated with. Okay, even though you guys are really young, she's really young, but you still y'all only 27 now. Okay, people change a lot in their 20s, especially young girls. They're looking for an identity. And so they pretty much become whatever it is, their social circle. They absorb that energy. Now, the fact that she was with him is one thing. The fact that she felt comfortable enough in that environment to join in using those racial slurs, that's what would get me. Because see, no matter who you're with, I mean, I've been around, racists and all kind of people, you know, I mean, people that do all kinds of horrible things. But because I have my own moral stance, my own value system, I don't even I don't even entertain the stuff that they do or say. That works for them, and I'm not going to be judging you. But don't likewise don't try to push that down my throat. And I'm not doing what you do. I'm not going to agree with your things. We can mutually agree to disagree. It's mutual respect. But I'm not going to go there with you. I'm not going to become a part of what you into. That's how a person does when they have a backbone and strong morals and values that guide their life. It doesn't matter who they're around. They don't succumb to peer pressure. They are who they are 24/7 everywhere they go. So to me, you warrant being concerned. You personally, I would break up with her. Like if it was reversed and I was you know, me dating some dude who, was like had dating a racist chick or something, it would be over because especially by the time he confessed that he used racial slurs. So you supposed to, if you in that environment, tell people, well, we don't need to go that far, or, at least just not join in with it. But she confessed to doing it. She could be doing all kind of things because, or I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit jaded, but I would be suspicious that she would be trying to set me up. Soon as she got mad at me, she would be trying to get me in a situation where dude and all his friends would beat my ass or hang me on a tree or some shit. So no, if you were my son, I'd be having 10 fits right now. Tell you better stay away from that crazy bitch. Don't you go nowhere with her. Don't you ever be seen in public with her no more. Block her on your phone. That shit is over. Just like you found her as a great girl, you can find somebody else. You know. That's the part that always used to make me afraid of dating interracially. Cause I just was imagine what kind of jails would I be under if somebody called me a word I wasn't trying to be called. And you know how violent I am. And the next thing I know, they'd be bleeding and I'd be in jail. So, sometimes, not like I have it, but dating California guys, like born and raised here of other races is different when you go to other places, especially when I was down in Texas. There is no way in this world I would have dated interracially down there. That just would never happen. So, you have to look at what messages those people have been given as they're growing up and how their mind is. So, yeah, sometimes, you just got to cut bait, dude, and just leave it alone. Ain't like she the only chick in the world. Question number 7. This is a male, 18 to 21, from Santa Cruz, California. Term issue. I feel like a third wheel in my own relationship because of my girlfriend's guy best friend. How do I set boundaries without sounding controlling? I'm 18 and my girlfriend is 19 and we've been together for about 6 months. Recently, I've been feeling increasingly uncomfortable and unsure about my place in the relationship due to her closeness with her male best friend, who she's known for about 3 years. She often refers to him as her brother, but I've noticed behaviors that cross what I personally consider normal boundaries. Things like forehead kisses, almost cuddling, and being very physically close. On social media, she tags him in almost everything that she tags me in, and it makes me feel like I'm sharing a role that's supposed to be exclusive. What hurts more is that she seems to tell him everything, personal things, emotions, and even stuff she sometimes hides from me. Any picture she sends me, she also sends him. Because of this, I generally feel like a third wheel in my own relationship. I don't believe she's cheating, but I do feel disrespected and emotionally sidelined. I understand they have history, but they aren't actually related, and I feel like some boundaries should exist now that she's in a relationship. What I'm asking advice on is how can I communicate my discomfort and set healthy boundaries with her without coming across as jealous, insecure, or controlling? What's a reasonable way to explain how this situation is affecting me emotionally? You don't. What you do is you go and get you a girl best friend and you start forehead kissing and holding hands and almost cuddling and telling her things you don't tell your girlfriend. That's what you do. Remember? Match energy. You don't talk to people in a situation like this. You show them what it feels like. Now this serves two purposes. One is she gonna have her feelings hurt because she feel like she the queen bee right now. She got two dudes after her. But you do that, it'll kind of reposition you. And so you'll have more emotional distance from her. If she wants to keep you around, it's gonna make her have to do more work she doesn't have to do right now. The second thing it's gonna do is you will be able to see how she handles it. If she doesn't step up and don't really seem to give a shit about, your girl best friend and your forehead kiss with her and all that stuff, then you know that the relationship is over and you were just fantasizing. I just, you know, the best friend, I mean, he's waiting for The best friend might be waiting for that, but he might not really even want a relationship with her. That's why they've been best friends, quote, best friends for 3 years. Because she was single during some of that time, right? He could have got it, and they could have got together. But for some reason, they didn't. Was it him or her? Who knows? For some reason, they didn't get together. So the likelihood of them doing something like that, unless it's a drunken accident, is probably pretty slim because it's been 3 years. What I would say though is that, dude, is this just your relationship? If you're not feeling like you're getting your needs met and it's causing you angst and sad feelings, then just dump her ass. What's the problem? Just dump her and say, you got too many men in your world and I'm just not feeling it. Boop, and be out. It's not hard. Oh, I forgot to say, if you want to send in your question for the advice column, just scan that QR code that you see up on the screen, and it'll take you right to the advice submission form. Fill that puppy out and press send, and then it'll go into the queue for us to review and possibly put in an upcoming column. All right, so it's right there on the screen. Scan it with your phone. Question number 8. This is a female, 22 to 27, from Ottawa, Canada. Summary issue. I have a problem with my fiance about his rage while he's gaming. This fool won't stop screaming and punching things while gaming. I need serious advice. Deb, first of all, sorry for my English. It's not my first language. I'm a gamer myself. I spend a lot of time on games. I get overwhelmed too. Sometimes I need to say something too. But he is extreme. He shouts like every 5 minutes and has to say something all the time, like every 2 minutes, talking to himself all the time, and punches the keyboard and the table. I had to replace table, mouse, keyboard because of this. One time he punched the monitor. I had to buy a new one. Yes, I had to. He had no money. And we have one PC together. I'm kind of addicted to playing games. Oh no, he would have had to go and yeah, I know. But it's so much the allergies. I just been coughing and sneezing. That's what this is. As long as the allergies are out, I don't think I'll be able to heal Kiki. It's sad. So then she says he wakes me up when he screams. The cats get scared too. And we have rent, and he's screaming even late at night. Even though I say to him we might get evicted because of this, nothing helps. I've tried even the meanest ways, like shutting his PC off while he's in a match. But every time it's like I'm the problem, not his anger. We've been together for 5 years. Normally, he's such a kind and helpful person. If he could, he would bring me the blue sky from the blue from the sky. We don't say bad words to each other, nothing like this. Everything is good except for his raging. But this problem is taking me to my limit. I think I need to leave him, but I simply don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, I want to do it. Any advice on this problem? See, you lost me by the time he busted up my stuff and I had to replace it. And you talking about you don't have no money? Motherfucker, then you don't use my shit. Because that's the number one. If you don't have the money to replace my stuff that you damaged, then you don't get to use it. That's my number one rule. And so by the time he did that, it would have been over. I'm not buying a new monitor. Monitors are hundreds of dollars, unless you get some cheap shit from Walmart or something. But I be getting them Dells and them LG 28-inch things and 36-inch monitors and stuff like that. Them stuff like was $500 and $600. So it's like you bust my monitor. You, I'm taking something of yours and selling it. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna get some of my money back. So you lost me on this. I love him though. I think I need to leave him. You should have left him a long time ago. That's what I think. Yeah, you busting up somebody's stuff. This is just I don't get it. Let's move on. Question number 9. This is a female, 22 to 27, from Baltimore, Maryland. The male's 28 to 34. Summary issue. I caught him cheating and feel at a loss. I finally went through his phone after 5 years together and I am devastated. I found what I was looking for and so much more. I feel at a loss because we just moved into a new place and joined some accounts and bills. I'm so entwined in his kids' lives and care for them so much. I feel numb. I don't want to hear any more explanations from him that I will never believe or apologies because nothing can undo what was already done and the heartbreak. I don't really know what I want. I know I shouldn't stay and accept disrespect like this or an apology that I know is fake because this is just the type of person that he is. I wanted this to work so bad. I wanted to overlook. I know I have to go. I feel stuck mentally and depressed and unmotivated to take care of what I need to. I feel that the more I stick around and let things go back to quote normal, that I will get comfortable not leaving and continue feeling like I owe him something. I think I'm still just in shock and so sad and disappointed. I put so much effort into this relationship and I feel so blindsided. I almost wish I could go back in time and not have gone through his phone. I know I'm so stupid for saying that. Would it really be the worst thing to just let it go? Is it stupid to sit back and rethink my boundaries to an extent to keep my peace and my sanity? I know it is. I just needed to hear it again. Well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. You already know. My main thing is um, when women accept disrespect, it's a wrap because he knows he can get away with disrespecting you. So you thinking, well, I'm gonna stay and it's gonna fix it. We're gonna work on this. It's gonna get better. No, it's not. It's going to get worse because he knows that you know that he disrespected you and he knows that you didn't make any demands on him about anything. So he knows he can continue to do whatever it was he was doing that disrespected you with impunity because you ain't gonna do shit about it. That's what you set yourself up for. So when you worry more about your love for a man than his respect for you, that's the kind of relationship that you end up with. Can I help you? Nope. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Uh, I don't know what to tell you. Question number 10. I think I'll take Kiki up on her thing. Maybe I can we can have two questions, three in a row. Tonight, tomorrow, and then back to Sunday. Right? Because my throat is hurting. This was question number 10 from a male, 28 to 34, from Jacksonville, Florida. So, an issue. My friend of 10 years turns into a major piece of shit after potentially committing fraud. What? How can I recover slash proceed? I have a really close friend since college who I used to talk to every day. We're now 30, me and 28, him. He was always ethically questionable. He had no issue with stealing small things or littering, which I always gave him shit for as I didn't agree with it. Ethically, as any decent person would, I overlooked these as he was still a good friend who I could trust. Then he joined the military a few years after college, and now he's out with 100% disability, getting paid thousands a month. He kept saying that this would be his plan for years as he was in, and even gloated about how he's guaranteed to get it by embellishing his injuries. And now, after serving barely 3 years, he's out. Almost immediately after getting it, he shits on me and says he feels that he's caught up to me, even though I'm still making double what his disability pays. He just doesn't know it because I don't tell him what I make, and that I didn't put any effort into our friendship. Not only that, he admits that he's been spiteful of me and my best friend since we've been successful after college. And he also claims that we would always shit on him, which isn't true. He couldn't provide any specific examples. Oh, it's super petty stuff like jokes that had nothing to do with him. After this, I essentially cut him off. I don't message him and I blocked him on texting. Only thing I see from him is the group chat with my best friend where he's gloating about getting his disability. It just pisses me off that I did put some effort into his friendship only for him to turn around and basically say that he didn't appreciate me at all. I should have seen the signs from him being a piece of shit and cut it off way sooner. I'm heavily tempted to share the text of him planning on getting his 100% disability to the VA, as I think it's utterly shitty he's essentially stealing money. At the same time, I just don't want to think about this anymore. I'm having a hard time coming to terms that someone I trusted for essentially most of my adult life turned on me. I plan on proposing to my girlfriend soon, and I was planning on having him as one of my grooms, and you was drunk on that one. I haven't broken it to my best friend as he wants to remain in contact with the shitty friend, and I don't really want to involve him. Should I do something about this, if anything at all? Yes, you should drop that dime to the VA. There are soldiers who really are hurt that are suffering, and they can't get the money. Your friend over here faking and collecting. Would I drop a dime on him? Oh, without a doubt. I would be singing like a canary. I would send them screenshots along with his phone number, his address, his full name, and every other bit of information I had on him. Like I said, you have to live your life in accordance with your morals and values. If you don't do that, you're not being true to yourself. And this friend of yours is just a piece of shit, like you said. This is pretty sad. If you don't have him in your wedding, I think you did well to dump him and block him and all that stuff. Should have done it a long time ago. All right. He said 1-800 I'm telling. That's right. That's a good response. Yeah, I have some lemons. Somebody gave me a whole bunch of lemons from their tree. So I do have that. So which I think I will go and take some right now because I just feel like ill. I feel awful. My throat hurts. I'm always coughing and sneezing. So anyway, I'm gonna set up a show for tomorrow at 4:30 as well, and then I'll see you guys on Sunday at 4 just as for the usual show. And some of these questions I'll go through the receipts for the Gmail and pull out some more things since Candace is still ill and do the column myself, which I really don't like doing, but whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right. So can you guys handle that? We do 10 lessons today, and we'll do 10 or 11 more tomorrow, and then the full column on Sunday as usual. All right? Oh, excuse me. I'm sleepy. That's super fat. All right. See y'all later. All right. Thank you for coming. You know, this was a short and abbreviated show.